Namaste, konnichiwa guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. Just going to check I'm live on Facebook as well. Yay, this time Facebook uploaded quickly. I was just thinking in my last video, considering I was reading from a list, this very list in fact, the first part of this list, it's by my scruffy handwriting, it took me longer than planned to go through it, and I was wondering why it took me so long, but I guess I was struggling to think, and I didn't want to forget anything, and I was a bit nervous, and also I was struggling to get to the point, and sort of fidgeting and all that kind of thing, just trying to make sure I'm plugged in. But yeah, I was having technical issues, I was going to say, on Facebook. But as I said in part one, I hope to support Asian entrepreneurs, Asians in business, Asian entrepreneurs, business people, business owners, CEOs, chief executive officers, I think that stands for, MDs, managing directors, CFOs, chief financial officers, Asian enterprises, whatever the difference is between those words. I use those terms like kind of, most of them anyway, interchangeably. I suppose a CFO, chief financial officer, is someone who runs the more financial side of business, whereas the CEO runs the actual business. But then there's the founders, I think, like Founder Friday. Perhaps it's not Friday, I was thinking about saying those other things. But yeah, Asians in business generally. And if you are an Asian in business, or you know any Asian businesses you want to share profile off or whatever, or anything else you want to comment, please do comment in the comments. I welcome any Asians around the world sharing, whether that's in Asia itself or wherever it might be. Australia, well, I suppose Australia sometimes we class as Asia. I'd class it as Australasia, but a different continent. Anyway, the Americas, America itself, Britain, or Europe, or parts of Europe, or whatever, wherever it might be in the world. If you want to share any Asian businesses or whatever, please feel free to do so. I know there's the Asian market, I think, even like corner shops and different businesses or whatnot, and I hope to support them. But anyway, these are names number 11 to 20 of Asians in business, of different ages and backgrounds and whatnot, but of an Asian descent. Some of them of partial or mixed Asian descent or whatever. So number 11, we may write Michelle Kang, who is the owner of Eagle Football Holdings, which manages Olympique Lyonnais. It's Olympic Marseille, but it's Olympique Lyonnais, if I pronounce it right. Obviously, that's a French team. And Washington Spirit. I don't know if that's one of those American football teams or the real football teams in soccer, which is real football, in my opinion. But sorry, controversial view there, but I'm not that patriotic, but in this case, I do believe the proper football is soccer. But anyway, or soccer, as the Americans call it, and she is a revolutionary force in global women's sports investments. Rather ironically, I wanted to mention about how I'd love for Asians to invest into and sponsor, especially Italian football teams, soccer teams, as I say, and Celtic, and also maybe even LCFC, Leicester City Football Club, which has, as that area, Leicester has a very diverse environment, or whatever. It's very diverse, basically, and has many Asians as well. Similar with Birmingham, I guess, is another one. Maybe Asians could invest in, but I'd certainly love for them to, from a selfish point of view, I'd love for them to invest in Italian football, and I hope also with Celtic, and I suppose Celtic does have a bit of an Asian link with some of the players from Japan, especially, and one or two from Korea, and if you go back far enough, even from India as well. But yeah, moving on to number 12, Sanjeev Bajaj, who, if I pronounce that again, as I said in part one, please forgive me if I butcher any pronunciations. He heads Bajaj Finance, which actually is named after himself. Moving on, number 13. Once again, I'd love for Asians to invest into, sponsor, and be involved with the Italian football, support and follow Italian football. Maybe even fund their own academies and sports clubs in there. The ones from Asia itself in their native homeland, but I'd love for Asians around the world to invest into Italian football teams, and including AC Milan, Torino, and others, Roma and whatnot. like Reliance Industries to invest in Roma, Tata to invest in Torino, and Alibaba to invest in Isiman, that kind of thing. But yeah, moving on to number 13, Chin Chu. Again, apologies for butchering pronunciations. As ever, who is a Vietnamese American. Sorry, he's a Vietnamese American leader, and Vietnamese American leaders hold many top executive and C-suite. I've got to admit, I don't know what C-suite is, but it seems like an American term I've read a few times when it comes to neurodivergent entrepreneurs as well. But yeah, many Vietnamese Americans hold great roles across various major industries, from Wall Street finance to biotech and consumer tech. And I'd love to find out, as ever, more about Asian entrepreneurs around the world, including Asia itself, of course, which again I'll talk about next week, as I said in Power. Again, Chinju, again, apologies for butchering that pronunciation, is the founder and managing partner of CC Capital, I think it's put here. CC Capital, which is a private equity firm based in New York. He worked at Blackstone for 25 years. And there were a few other things, but I was a bit lazy to write them down. Number 14, Jenny Tar. There's quite a few good, successful Asian business women as well as I'm sure there's lots of young. I suppose I could have included mompreneurs, youngpreneurs, fempreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and that kind of thing. But there were a few coincidences that I found in the list. Number 15, Tai Lee, who is a Korean American female entrepreneur, I believe, if I've read that correctly. Facts are accurate at the time of reading as well. Sorry, that came across a bit wrong. I didn't mean transition or whatever, but I meant in terms of their ages. Like earlier when I said someone was a young entrepreneur, that could have been the Google search could have been from 10 years ago. I don't know, or 20 years ago, or whenever, even at the beginning of Google or something. So I don't know how updated search is for newer entrepreneurs. Yeah, good to have lots of representation from Koreans, Vietnamese people, Japanese, Indian, Chinese, and many others. Number 16, Jensen Huang, of course. I'm sure most people have heard of Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, a multi-trillion-dollar company, I believe, and who has a massive net worth, like hundreds of billion or just over 100 billion or something like 150 billion or whatever. But I suppose he's well known, obviously, for how he's changed the world through NVIDIA, AI, and that kind of thing. And he has a massive influence. I believe he is of Vietnamese descent originally, right in America. Number 17, Lisa Su. I didn't really write much about. I think I was trying to get this list done and that kind of thing. I only wanted to fit it onto one sheet of paper, so I didn't want to. I was struggling to fit all those names in and that kind of thing. So, yeah, Lisa Su, I didn't write that much about, to be honest. Number 18, there are many Asian entrepreneurs who around the world who have contributed to jobs and the market or the economy with their hard work. And I want to salute that from someone who's very lazy. I want to salute the hard work and the endeavours they've put in and that kind of thing. It's a big word for me. So yeah, I suppose I didn't really include a specific name for number 18, although I was trying to find someone who has positively contributed to the world. I also shared quite a few links on my Facebook. I was a bit curious, conscious about sharing too many links or whatnot. I wanted to salute general Asian hard work. I probably should have found a name as well to put number 18, but I didn't. Could have, should have, would have. But yeah, I'd say please do share any. If you're an Asian entrepreneur anywhere in the world, and so cool if you know any Asian entrepreneurs you want to share and let people know about and raise a profile of, please do share in the comments. Number 19, this is more of a family, the Hinduja family or Hindu brothers. Bit of a controversial British Indian family. And number 20, I was thinking of areas where there's a lot of diversity, like London, Leicestershire, Birmingham, places like that. And I didn't, just like point number 18, looking back, I didn't include a specific name, but I wanted to sort of salute and celebrate Asian entrepreneurs generally. At this time, I don't have an excuse for technical issues. I did run over the 10-minute mark, which I wanted to do. I was hoping it would be less rather than more, but and number 21, hold your horses. Please check out part 3 for that one, and pointers number 21 to 30. And I'm out, and peace and love.